Yes now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the Behzinga channel. It's been an absolute pleasure uploading so far, but we're back with another one, and this time it's football related slash FPL related because that's a big interest in my life. I enjoy it. These lot here are watching it live over on twitch.tv/Behzinga. Get involved. It'd be a pleasure to have you. Appreciate it. Let's get into the video. All right, so all my viewers that are in my FPL league, I'm going to put the code for the league on the screen here so you guys can join it. Our league was actually the #2 ranked league in the world at one point. We was on the FPL homepage. It was absolutely mental, like really mental. So we must have a bunch of ball knowers in the chat, which is crazy. And also there's thousands of people in there. I think we've got, I'd like to know how many people are in there because I'm 15,000th in my league and that's pretty decent, I think. Anyway, game week 1, average points, we scored above it. Final points, 62. We took an L though, chat. We took an L because the morning of deadline day, I had Salah and Haaland. I had Salah and Haaland, and then I thought, you know what? I need to spread the funds out evenly. So I put Jota in, Muniz, Saka came in. Saka was a W, Jota was a W. And Nkunku, oof. Nkunku's a little bit of a worry, chat. Nkunku's a bit of a worry. He got dragged before the 60th minute, which is not good. Really not good. I do think when Chelsea end up playing easier opposition, like next week, he's going to get more minutes, and I think he's going to play through the middle. He is only 6.5, but I've got my eyes on him. I'm going to give him one more week, and then we're going to have to think about moves. Another issue in this team that I'm really quite worried about, Quansah. Quansah got 45 minutes, and Slot said he wasn't winning enough duels, so he's going to be worried about him. However, their fixtures coming up are decent. They're playing Brentford home, Man United away, Nottingham Forest. So I'm hoping he's got a price drop tomorrow. That's the issue. And I don't want to be stuck with a 4.4 mil defender. I've currently got 0.5 in the bank, but I don't really, I think I'm going to change tonight, man. Quansah will start next game. I just don't believe, man. Konate's a much better defender. I just feel like he's gonna get himself in the team, man. Quansah might have to leave the team tonight. And Nkunku, we're going to give another week. Really happy with my front three. I actually think Muniz has got a decent run of fixtures all the way to 6. So I'm going to believe in him. 6 mil, can't go wrong. Fulham had chances as well, man. Fulham had chances. Got Porro in there. Porro's got a knock, 75% chance of playing. I think Porro's just a steal, man. At 5.5, he gets forward so much. I think Porro's a decent team. If we take a look at the actual team of the week here, Saka, Kovacic, Salah. Some of these players are just mental. Like Porro you have, Pope potentially you have, Salah. Salah might be a slight oversight for me. Salah might be a slight oversight, and I might end up chasing that. But I do feel like people have had to pick between Salah and Haaland this year, which is major. And I'm happy I've got Haaland because Haaland at home to Ipswich. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you look at the Behzinga Championship, someone in the league is currently on 110 points. They played triple captain on Salah, which wasn't a bad shout. Havertz up top, Isak, Solanke. Solanke's going to get chances, by the way. Solanke's going to get a lot of chances. And that is... He's from the United States as well. Crazy. And he's cooking, man. Raya, double Arsenal defense is going to be a solid again, isn't it? Like last year, they had one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. Yeah, man. I will always triple captain on a double game week. Fair dues, man. He got away with one. Got away with one. We look at some of the teams. There's like 14 people with 100 plus points, which is pretty decent. Fair dues, Behzinga Championship, man. Fair dues. I'd like to see how many people are in it, man. I'm 15,000th. I'd love to know how many people are in it, but I feel like I'd be here all day. Yeah, Quansah might have to go, chat. Quansah might have to go. All right, if we actually go through and look at the fixtures for this game week, Man United Fulham, saved by a late goal from Xerxes, which is massive because people had question marks around him, but he looked really good when he came on. Garnacho got an assist. I actually had Garnacho in my team last year for a very, very, very long time. And he got some returns, man. So we take that. Fulham looked decent. Fulham actually had decent spells in that game. I think Fulham could be a decent shout this year. They've got some decent players in them, man. They've got Emil Smith-Rowe. I had him in a draft at one point. Muniz, Andreas still. They're a decent squad, and I do predict that Muniz is going to get a couple of goals. Fulham might nick a couple of results here and there. But Man United, getting it done late with Xerxes. Can't complain. I also think that United team, once they figure out their back line, could be quite decent. I do think they're going to be all right. Then moving on to Super Saturday. The early kickoff was Liverpool versus Ipswich Town. Now, Ipswich, ladies and gentlemen, Ipswich done me a solid, you know. Like, I didn't have much faith in them. I didn't have much faith in them, man. They surprised me. They surprised me quite a lot until they conceded. That's when their heads went, and they conceded that goal, and you just could tell it was going to be... It could have ended up being 3 or 4, man. Could have ended up being 3 or 4. There's also a geezer on the Ipswich team that looks exactly like me when I had my hair dyed. I don't know his name. All I did all day was get tweets. Didn't know you could have been playing left back or whatever it was, wherever he was playing. It was mental. But yeah, I do think Liverpool could have ended up winning that game like 3 or 4. They had the chances to. But Ipswich did surprise me in the first half. Hopefully, they've got some kind of fixtures coming up. Who are they playing next week? Man City. Yeah, no, it's curtains, bruv. It's curtains. The league were not kind to them. The league were not kind to them. Then moving on to another game that I did watch. Arsenal versus Wolves. Obviously, I had vested interest in that because of Saka. Saka getting the job done against the Wolves side that usually are pretty all right. They're not nothing to shout about, nothing to rave about. But Arsenal, best defence in the league last year. Havertz is actually kicking on now. Super Kai Havertz is actually turning into a little bit of a problem up there. I think he's good. Saka will stay in my team for a very long time. Star boy. Even though I think he's good, but I don't think he's as good as Arsenal fans make out. Arsenal are going to continue to get the job done. Who have they got next week? They are playing Aston Villa, 5:30 kickoff. That's a big game. That's a big game. I like to see how Aston Villa do against a bigger opposition than West Ham, if you know what I mean. Everton versus Brighton. Now, this was a surprise one for me. Goal scored. Mitoma, 2 years ago, was in my team. FPL Goat. He was really good. He started getting returns left, right, centre for a cheap price. He's back. Adingra and Welbeck getting on the goals as well. But I just didn't expect this, especially away from home. I thought Brighton might have a little slight slip this season, but this 3-0 result away at Everton is relatively impressive. And for that reason, thumbs up to Brighton. That's a decent result. Newcastle getting the job done against Southampton. Again, newly promoted Southampton. They've been in the Premier League before. They know what it's about. Joe Linton getting the goal. Isak getting the assist. Thank you for the return. Isak, thank you very much. I captained Isak this week, and he repaid me with an assist, so we do take those. But Newcastle, again, I think with the setup they've got, I think they can end up being in the good places this year. Definitely top half finish. But getting the job done against Southampton is what you want, realistically. Then moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. Chris Wood getting a goal. I know a lot of people actually picked Chris Wood in their teams because he's a decently priced striker. Semenyo getting a goal as well. He was good for them last season and the season before that, I think. But yeah, a lot of people have Chris Wood. I slept on Chris Wood. I think decent result for both teams. I can't lie. Decent result for both teams. A 1-1 draw. They take those. They take those. Now, we get on to the big one. West Ham versus Aston Villa. Listen here, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the season, 37 game weeks from here, this result will not be as bad as people have made it out to be. The performance, at times, was really worrying. The defence, very worrying, right? Because in that first 20 minutes, Villa were just cutting through us like a hot knife through butter, mate. Like, it was very, very easy. Now, the one thing I do have with this West Ham team, yes, it is a home loss, opening game in the season. But the team that started in that game 2 months from now isn't going to be the same team. Like, nearly at all. Tadebo's going to be a starting centre-back. Wan-Bissaka's going to be a starting right-back. Like, there's so much... Alvarez is going to be back. There's going to be so many changes to that team. And I think Lopetegui's got a big issue on his hands because he's got such a core bunch of players that you can't really upset. Because if you look at that West Ham team, the back line's going to change. The midfield, Rodriguez, Alvarez, Souček. And then from there, you could even drop Paqueta into a box-to-box, but he's playing left or in a 10. There's so many options now that I think it's going to take him a while to figure out what the best setup is. Paqueta gets on a score sheet through a penalty. I think the penalty was a little bit of a scam. He won the ball first, and then the momentum tangled his legs. But it is a penalty, if you know what I mean. It is a penalty. He has brought him down in the box. Yes, he didn't. It wasn't intentional, but it has to be a penalty. And then John Duran. Duran, man. We're in deep pain there. We was linked with him. He even chucked up the iron sign on Instagram Live. Peak. So peak. But he came on. He looked explosive, quick, intelligent, curved his runs well, and you could just tell it was going to happen, man. But they played nice football in that goal, and Aston Villa get the 3 points. Again, at the end of the season, a loss to a decent Aston Villa team. Especially, I thought Onana looked brilliant for Aston Villa. Considering he comes straight from Everton, he's already got that Prem experience, but he cooked, man. He cooked. Moving on to Super Sunday, after I played in the morning, by the way. Portville won 5-2. Get up. What a game. Come on the PV. Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Now, this one, Brentford are a home team, in my eyes. Brentford are always a home team. Brentford away can get battered. But Brentford at home, I think they're really good. Crystal Palace, really, really unfortunate, though. That Eze free kick was something to die for, man. I think Eze is going to be a decent shout this season. He's quality. He's their star man. But Mbeumo and Wissa getting the goals. And Tony was left out of the whole squad because apparently there's transfer rumours. He's got transfer talk going on. I wonder where he will end up. If he even moves this year, who knows? Having no Tony didn't seem to be too much of a problem. Wissa's a good player and Mbeumo's a good player. I signed Mbeumo on career mode, mate, so I know he's a good player. Munoz got an assist. Also a decent FPL shout. A lot of people did punt for him. I didn't. Crystal Palace can feel hard done by here. They can feel hard done by. Who knows? Maybe they'll continue to cook. Then we move on to Chelsea, Man City. They played each other in pre-season. Haaland bagged a brace in that in like 20 minutes. But Chelsea losing 2-0 at home to Man City. Again, you can't really complain at it. But Chelsea have got major issues going on. They've got so many players. So many players. I don't think they're going to know what to do with them. Haaland getting on the score sheet. Kovacic, by the way, would still probably start for Chelsea, which is quite funny. And it's a shame Haaland got a yellow card. -1 point in FPL. You bastard. But yeah, City, I think, got a decent run of fixtures. They're going to end up doing what they do every season. But yeah, what was funny is Cucurella sung songs about Haaland and then got absolutely bodied, peppered, finished. Savinho looks good as well. Yeah, I like the look of Savinho. I like the fact that City now can start with 2 wingers that are really direct. I love that. I think the art of being a direct winner. Direct winner. They are all direct winners, to be fair. But I do think that City wing play now is so like refreshing because I think the art of being wingers has been lost, man. Jack Grealish is very much like dribble, cut it back edge, dribble, cut it back edge, recycle the play. These guys are cooking, man. I'll tell you what they do. Playing against the Savinho and Doku, their fullbacks shit themselves constantly. The thought of playing against a Doku for me would be a nightmare. No chance, man. Wouldn't like it. Not one bit. Then moving on to Leicester versus Spurs, which was a Monday night kickoff. That was last night. Leicester, Jamie Vardy, 37 years old, Red Bull at halftime, told the Spurs fans that he's got a Premier League and they ain't. What a fucking guy. He's just different, bro. Yeah, Vardy old but gold. The chat is saying it, man. I love Jamie Vardy. He is like the epitome of English football to me. Like, I absolutely love him. Spurs, Pedro Porro getting a goal. Love that. Maddison getting an assist. Maddison, I think, if he can stay injury-free, is going to cook this season. Porro, always a good shout. Cheap. Manages to attack loads. And I do think Solanke did have a couple of chances. I think Solanke is going to be a decent punt this season. I think Solanke's going to get chances. I look forward to seeing what he does, man. Because I think he's a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer, man. And I do believe he will actually come good. I think he'll come good. See, now, this is the issue. Because he's going to drop. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I really don't like the fact that he's going to... I don't like the fact he's going to drop. Chat. I don't like the fact that he's going to drop. Quansah, select replacement. Oh, man. How much we got in the bank? Budget 5. It's really worrying. It's really worrying. I also fell for the barcode trap. I fell for the barcode trap, an unused substitute in the 3-0 win. I fell for the barcode trap. I feel like he isn't going to get played, man. He isn't going to get played. Should have used that 4.5 and gone dunk. Like he plays 75 minutes. Yeah, peak. Very peak. I need Salah, but I've gone with Haaland and I've spread the money out. Rodgers is actually an interesting one because he played the full 90 and he looked pretty good. So I think Rodgers is a decent shout in there. And Kunku's a worry too. But these defenders, I'm worried about. Might be worth chucking a Munoz in. Oh, there's decisions to be made and decisions to be made tonight, by the way. That's the issue. There's decisions to be made tonight because I think Quansah drops in price tonight. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do because that would be illegal. I do think I'm going to have to do some serious work on this team, man. Lewis Hall in. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout, man. They got a decent run of fixtures. Played 69 minutes. Don't like the 69 minutes, man. Don't like it, man. Listen, there's things to be done, things to be said. And that'll be all for today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this FPL type Premier League video, then make sure to click that like button. Let me know if you'd like me to do one of these for every game week because I'd be more than happy to. I appreciate you guys as always. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. These legends watched it live and we'll see you next time. Bosh. Bye.